Yes, mates, how's it going? My name's Lee, and welcome back to the FPL Punk YouTube channel, where we try to dominate FPL one game week at a time. In today's video, I'll do a game week 17 review, then I'll discuss my team selection for game week 18, talk about my current transfer plans, and then look at the best captain for game week 18. If you enjoy FPL content, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and drop a comment down below and tell me what transfers you plan to make for game week 18. Anyway, let's rock and roll.
Get strong.
Right, mates, first of all, I'm recording this just as the Liverpool-Spurs game is kicking off. Trent and Salah haven't done anything yet, but I have still got Salah, my captain, to play in that one. But hopefully they can do something in the game. There was no difference between my goalkeepers, with Verbruggen and Fabianski both scoring 3 points. All of my bench was completely injured, so Vandenberg is out with a groin injury. Anderson is coming back from injury. However, he did make the bench, which I really like, so there's a chance he could even make the team next week. Or if he does have a difficult fixture, so probably not. Eze injured once again. I might have to make a decision with that, but Crystal Palace do have some good fixtures coming up. I feel like I want to keep him for those upcoming fixtures. Not a great week for me. Like, I did take a -8, so I brought in Isak, Hall, and Fabianski for a -8. Isak obviously with a hat trick and get an absolute like monster 17-pointer, which is, I think it's paid off in like over the course of those kind of transfers. So I think I'm net positive from those, like only by 2 or 3, 4 points maybe. Like it's not a lot, so the transfers have been worth it. But I still expected to get a red arrow from it anyway, just down to the fact that I took a -8 and it's so tight around these ranks at the moment, down to about 80k. But like I don't mind. Like I feel like I can start to claw it back over the next couple of weeks or so. A total of 47 points so far, and we'll see how Trent and Salah do. Probably still going to get a red owl. However, if I can get close to kind of like a greyish small red owl, I'd probably take that. Like if you offered me that at the beginning of the game week, I probably would have took it. My total points is up to 1,067. There was no separating my goalkeepers. Fabianski and Verbruggen both scoring 3 points. Gabriel with the cheeky assist. However, he did concede, so he didn't get any more points than that. Lewis Hall coming in with a massive clean sheet 6-pointer, like absolutely huge. Like I just don't seem to get clean sheet points this season, so really happy to get those. Chelsea blanked against Everton, and it ended 0-0. So both Palmer and Enzo both got nothing, and they both only got 3 points each. Saka went off injured after about 20-25 minutes. We might have to address that. We might have to make a transfer on Saka, depending on if we get any more kind of injury news. João Pedro and Brighton again, very, very disappointing. They're just not doing anything. Like, things aren't clicking for them, and I don't know what's wrong. I haven't seen the highlights from the game. I just saw the stats, and the stats were just horrendous from like a Brighton point of view. Chris Wood, he got a few shots away, to be fair, and he probably should have scored. Like he racked up a decent amount of XG in the game, and he got maybe 3 or 4 shots away. I can't remember how many exactly, but I'm really happy with that. And then Isak with obviously monster 17-pointer, like I've already said. Pretty happy with the team. Kind of scored what I thought he was going to score. Hopefully Trent and Salah do something tonight, and I can actually kind of get close to kind of greyish arrow. Let's take a look at the team selection for game week 18. Moving on to the team selection for game week 18, and I've got nothing in the bank, and I've got 1 free transfer. I've got a team value of 103 million exactly. I have got Verbruggen in goal right now, Brentford at home. However, I could even start Fabianski away to Southampton. Like it's a really good fixture for West Ham and Fabianski. However, I am kind of considering another goalkeeper transfer. And we'll discuss some transfer plans later on in the video. In terms of the defenders on the bench, Vandenberg is still injured, and Anderson's got Chelsea away, so it's not a great fixture. So I'm probably not going to play Anderson, but like it's nice to have a defender back from injury. I've got Trent up against Leicester at home, and then Liverpool got a few good games after that as well, where they got West Ham away. I think Man United might be a tougher game than people think, but then they've got Forest and Brentford after that as well. Really happy that Gabriel's back, and I don't have to worry about Gabriel's injury status. Ipswich at home, prime fixture. That just feels like a nailed on clean sheet for Arsenal. And then on paper, the fixtures look quite difficult for Arsenal after that, but I think he might do quite well, and I think Arsenal might keep more clean sheets over this run than people suspect. So they've got Brentford away, Brighton away, Spurs at home, and then Villa at home over the next 5. And I'm still going to play Lewis Hall, just down to the fact he's got a home game, and I like Newcastle at home. I don't think it's a great fixture by any means. Like I think Villa a formidable opponent for anyone. So I just don't have anybody else. So it's either play Hall at home to Villa or play Anderson away to Chelsea. I think I'd back the play with the home fixture. After that, Man United away, not a great game, but then Anderson, hopefully if he's back, can hopefully cover for that. Spurs away, Wolves at home, and Bournemouth at home after that. Probably decent games for my goalkeeper and defence. However, I'm just kind of getting fed up with Verbruggen, man. He's awful goalkeeper. Defensively, Brighton are a mess. They just don't think they've kept a clean sheet now for about 10 game weeks or so. They're just terrible, mate. Like I'm getting fed up, and I just feel like I need to get someone good in and just kind of stick him in for the rest of the season. But let's move on to the midfield. Moving on to the midfield, and first up we've got Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez. And Chelsea just have got a great run of games now. Fulham at home, probably a harder game on Fixture now. I feel like Fulham are kind of a bit hit and miss right now. But Chelsea obviously drew 0-0 with Everton today, so maybe it's a chance for Chelsea to bounce back and put in a good performance against a really good Fulham side. After that, they've got Ipswich, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, and Wolves. Great run of games for them. I don't mind playing Enzo Fernandez in any of these games. If I do get news that Eberiche Eze is back, Eze will come back into the starting lineup. But one of the major issues is obviously down in the bottom left corner, where you can see Saka is currently yellow flag with an injury. He went off with a potential hamstring injury. There was pictures of him leaving the ground on crutches. So, I mean, I just don't think we're going to get any kind of injury news from Arteta, just because he's just a lying little dog. Do you know what I mean? He's a sneaky little rat. It drives me insane. Like how managers can just lie about injury status. I hope one day we adopt the NFL approach of injury news, where you've got to be completely honest and transparent about injury status. I just think it's just better for the integrity of the game for me. I just don't know how we can just straight up lie about the status of his players. So if Saka is injured, I either need to transfer him out. If it's only a short-term injury, I would be tempted to keep him, or hopefully Eze's back and Eze can just slot in for there. So there's a chance Eze might start from this week, depending on his fitness, and that might be for Enzo Fernandez or Saka. But I might make a transfer in there, and like I said, I'll discuss some transfer plans later on in the video. Hopefully, if Saka is fit to play, then he's got Ipswich at home, which is just an absolute banger of a fixture. So I really hope he's back for that. And then we've got the absolute Egyptian king, FPL king, an absolute monster this season. Salah, owned by everybody, 63.1%. He just Salah does what Salah wants to do. Do you know what I mean? Absolute monster. Leicester at home, prime captaincy fixture right there. West Ham away, Man United at home, Forest away, and Brentford away after that. I feel like he's captainable in probably 90% of the upcoming games. So really happy with the midfield actually. Even though I've got a couple potential injury issues, I feel like I've got enough depth and enough quality in there with the likes of Palmer, Enzo, Salah, and Eze. And if he is fit, that maybe I don't need to make a transfer. But if Saka's out for kind of medium long term, I feel like I'm just going to have to take him out, to be honest. Let's take a look at the forwards. And first up, we've got Chris Wood at home to Spurs. Really happy playing Chris Wood in this. I think he's just ticking along. And if you would have told me that Forest would have won 2-0 and Chris Wood wasn't involved, I could probably wouldn't believe you, to be honest. He's probably not performed as well in the most recent games, but I think he's just going to be a reliable returner over the next 5 game weeks. I think you can play him in any home game, and then even his away games are pretty good. You're probably not going to play him at Liverpool at home in a few weeks' time, but you could play him home to Spurs, away to Everton, away to Wolves, and then at home to Southampton. So really happy keeping him. I think the people that have sold him probably going to look to bring him back sooner rather than later, just because I just think he's so consistent, and there's a real lack of good, consistent forwards right now, particularly around that kind of price range. I got João Pedro in again, and he's just been just another nightmare transfer. I wildcarded him in around game week 4, game week 5, and he got injured for quite a large section of the season. I kept him on the bench and took massive losses on him. I think he went down to 5.3, so I lost quite a lot of value on him. And then he started scoring again, brought him back in, and he's blanked ever since. So I just feel like I can't win with João Pedro. He doesn't look great. Brighton don't look great. I just think he's that cheap that I don't know what to do with him. So the only kind of scenario I can kind of think of is if I sold Saka and then took João Pedro to somebody else. But even if I sold Saka and brought in, say, Maddison or Bruno Fernandes, like, I'm only gonna get like 2 million, like 2 point something. So it's not like I can go and get anyone crazy. Like, I could maybe stretch to Nicholas Jackson, but if he gets booked, then like he misses the game. So it's like, kind of want to wait till game week 19, game week 20 for Nicholas Jackson if I am gonna go there. So it just doesn't feel worth it, to be honest with you, mate. And the fixtures aren't great as well. Brentford at home, Aston Villa away, Arsenal at home, Ipswich away, yeah, great, like amazing fixture. But then they got Man United at home after that as well. Just don't really like it. And then we've got Isak. Just really glad I brought him in. Like even though I took a -8, I think getting Isak in was the correct decision and at the correct time. 8.9 million now, and he's gone, and his ownership has gone up to 32.5%. Coming off and he's on red hot form, like he's just coming off a hat trick. He's got Aston Villa at home, followed by Man United away, Spurs away. I think they're great games. Like even though FPL doesn't like him from a fixture difficulty rating, I think he's just that good and he's that silky that. And I don't even think the Man United and Spurs defense are like even any good. So I wouldn't worry about playing Isak in those games. Like I think he can score against anybody. And then he's got Wolves at home, Bournemouth at home after that. Great games, mate. Like I've got no issues, but and playing Isak in any of those games. Overall, I don't think my forwards have the greatest fixtures on paper, but I'd be pretty confident of them getting some returns in there. And as a result, I'm probably not going to touch the forwards in terms of making any transfers. We have to talk about captaincy for game week 18, and it just feels like a competition between Palmer and Salah right now. I think there's a couple outside options. I think if Saka was fit up against Ipswich, I might have considered that. But with that injury now, particularly to his hamstring, and he's such an explosive player, I probably wouldn't even think about captaining Saka. I think you could maybe consider Isak at home to Aston Villa. I just think Villa can perform pretty well on the day. So as a result, I think the only two options for me is Palmer and Salah. And I've got some predicted data in the middle there. So Palmer is predicted to get 7.3 points according to FPL Review, as opposed to Salah's 8.2 points. And then according to Fantasy Football Hub, Palmer's predicted to get 7.5 points, and Salah's predicted to get 8.7 points according to Fantasy Football Hub. I think Liverpool and Salah's got the slightly better fixture with Leicester at home, as opposed to Fulham at home. Like I still think Palmer's got a good fixture and Chelsea's got a good fixture. I just think Salah's fixture is just slightly better because like I think Leicester want to try and move more towards an attacking formation and attacking kind of tactical and play style and all those kind of things under Van Nistelrooy. So I think Salah can exploit that. However, like weirdly enough, like considering how bad Leicester have been over the last few recent seasons, his record against Leicester isn't great. He's got 11 games with 4 goals and 3 assists. Like I thought it was going to be 9 goals, 9 assists kind of thing. I thought he was going to absolutely rip them apart, but like his record isn't great, to be fair. So, but he has had some previous returns against them. So he has got that kind of historical record against them. And Palmer's only played 2 games against Fulham just because he's a pretty new player to the league. And in one of those games, he did score. So like he's got some history of doing pretty well against Fulham there as well. But I think with Fulham losing João Pedro in the summer, they might be a little bit weaker in that number kind of 10 role that Palmer likes to occupy. But for me, I just can't look past Salah, mate. He's just ticking along. He's just like, it's scary how good he's been this season, and I just think he's going to continue just for the foreseeable future. Like it won't surprise me like if he ends on 25 goals, 25 assists over the course of the season. He's just crazy, mate. Absolutely monster. So for me, I think Salah's the best captain for game week 18. Let's take a look at my transfer plans for game week 18. In terms of transfer plans, I think I've got a few options. Below me, I've got option 1, which is just roll the free transfer, just kind of stick with the team I've got, just deal with the injuries that I've got, and just kind of put out just put out whatever players that I've got, and hopefully that all the players I've got short-term injuries, and just kind of just see how it goes. But it just feels a little bit kind of cautious and a little bit kind of let's wait and see. I feel like the better plan might be to be a little bit more aggressive, and like we just need some more information on that Saka injury, and that's option 2 is just to use the 1 free transfer, move Saka onto somebody, take them down somebody. I just don't think there's many great options. Like I think there's only really Bruno Fernandes feels the safest in my opinion. You could maybe take a look at Maddison. Just not convinced of his minutes. I don't think Heung-min Son is an option at all. I'm not convinced of his minutes. He's playing out of position for me. I don't like him out wide. I just don't think he's got the legs anymore. You could take him right down to something like an Ahmad or a Semenyo or a Morgan Rogers and use the money elsewhere. But then again, like if you use the money elsewhere, then you can't get back to Saka. So it just depends how long Saka's going to be out for. And if he's only out for a week or two, I think I'd probably just keep him, you know, and just focus the transfers elsewhere. But if I did make that Saka to Bruno Fernandes transfer, I would be very tempted to take a hit and just do the Verbruggen to Alisson move and just get it done. That would leave me with about $1 million, like at 1.4 in the bank, and then it gives me some kind of leeway to use the assistant manager chip, like in the next few game weeks. So that's always a consideration for me about when I can use that assistant manager chip. So those for me are my main transfer options. Leave a comment down below and let me know what transfer plan you prefer for game week 18. Right, mates, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. So we did a review of my game week 17 team, and then did a team selection for my game week 18. Enjoy today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, drop a comment down below. Have a good day. Peace and love.